Everybody's talking about the Phoenix Suns and Denver Nuggets as the team to beat in the Western Conference. In my opinion, the Dallas Mavericks have a really good shot at making a run next year in the NBA playoffs. They add on some key pieces. They still might not be done yet. I mean, there's still a couple of free agents out there that they could get. Derek Lively, Max Prosper, heck of a draft for this Mavs team. Not to mention they also bring in Richaun Holmes. In my opinion, they probably won the 2023 NBA draft when it comes to value, because at 12 and 24, they got two guys that are going to be key rotation pieces for them this year. On a championship contender, they also get off of Davis Bertans' contract, and Kyrie Irving re-signs on a long-term extension. So make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button, as well as leaving a comment down below, as it really puts out in the YouTube algorithm. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Like I said, about 97% of my audience is not subscribed. So if you're one of the 97%, which odds are you are, just go ahead and fix that real quick for me. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started looking at the big moves made by the Dallas Mavericks. This one wasn't really big, but I mean, look at the amount of work I put into this video. Epic jersey swap there for Seth Curry. 2 years, $9 million contract, 9.2 points per game, 1.6 assists, 1.6 rebounds last year for the Brooklyn Nets. He is as good of a role player as they come in the NBA, especially being under 6'7". In 20 minutes per game last year, he put up 46% from the field and 41% from three shooting splits. Really good numbers for Seth last year. He had a heck of a season. Now, Grant Williams coming over from the Boston Celtics in a sign and trade for about 4 years, $53 million. He is yet another guy that can shoot at 40% from three, and he's going to give them really good, tough rotation minutes off the bench. 8.1 points per game, 4.6 rebounds, 1.7 assists a night. He's going to be a guy, kind of that it guy, the glue guy, the Draymond Green, if you will, that gives them the toughness. But by the way, he can shoot at 40% from three, 45% from the field in 26 minutes a game last year. Really good year for Grant Williams. And they send off Reggie Bullock as a part of that Grant Williams sign and trade. So getting a little bit younger as well as better. Now, let's talk about the draft. I referenced it earlier, but they had a huge draft. They traded back from 10 to 12, picking up getting off Davis Bertans in the contract, getting off Davis Bertans in the process, $16 million contract. They bring in Derek Lively. Perfect match in Dallas, in my opinion. He is honestly a more high upside version of like a Clint Capella, just because he's such an elite paint presence, great lob threat, can also protect the rim like no other at almost 7'2". And he's shown some potential to knock down the three ball. Now, is he a day one starter? People are thinking that he's not going to be, and part of the reason is Jason Kidd doesn't really like to play the rookies. But hey, I mean, you get off a contract, you get the guy that I thought they were going to get at 10, 2 picks later, while getting off a $16 million contract. That's a huge dub, in my opinion. Not to mention, this guy could be a starter, in my opinion, for the Dallas Mavericks. Home run pick with Derek Lively there at number 12. I think he's going to be, like I said, I think he should be the starter. Probably won't be because of Kidd, but I think he should be. And at 24, we have Max Prosper. Was a good wing prospect at Marquette. 3-and-D, that's the type of guys that they need, elite defender. And then Richaun Holmes, decent paint presence, so they get off of Davis Bertans. They bring in Richaun Holmes. And I think Holmes could be a rotational piece for them. Sure, he's got a bad contract, 2 years, $25 million. Honestly, that's not that bad in the modern NBA. I mean, with all the money being thrown around. And he could be a rotation piece for them. He was a rotation piece in Sacramento for a while, was their starting center for a while. So maybe he can have a bit of a resurgence here in Dallas. And then Max Prosper, perfect guy around Luka and Kyrie. I mean, you talk about a guy with all the intangibles, very good defenders, got so much potential to be an elite defender. About 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan. He's a guy that I think is going to play a big role as a rookie. He's a really nice piece to build around here in Dallas. The offensive potential is there. He averaged about 13 points per game in college, which in 40 minutes, that's not bad. Or a 40-minute game. And, in college, you're not really allowed to show off their complete offensive arsenal. So I think he's going to be a rotation piece. He's going to be an elite defender. Maybe plays the 4 off the bench or the 3, either one. We'll talk about it here later on in the video, so make sure you stick around for that, though. Now, they are going to run it back with their duo. Luka and Kyrie did not exactly work last year together, but they're going to try it again this year, and I think this year could work. Kyrie got the max contract this year, or not max, but close to a max over 3 years, so but it's him and Luka. They're locked in for the next 3 years. Kyrie averaged about 27 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists last year. He didn't play too many games with the Mavs before they shut him down to tank and get that lottery pick, which turned into Derek Lively. So that actually turned out being a good idea. But Kyrie's so good. 51% from the field, 39% from 3, 1.1 steals. He's just a really, really good point guard. Now, he's not the greatest presence in the locker room. He does have the off-the-court issues that you got to worry about when you bring in Kyrie. But I think it will be all right. He seems to like Dallas. And then Luka is just a different monster. 32.4 points per game, 8.6 rebounds a night. He also controls the floor as the point guard. 8 assists a night, 1.4 steals, but don't let those numbers fool you. He is not exactly what they call a defender. And then you also got 50% from the field on 32.5 points a game is just absurd. 34% from 3 as well. Now, who is going to be their third option on offense? Tim Hardaway Jr., 2 years, $34 million contract. So wouldn't be shocked, honestly, if they look to move him. If they keep him around, he could be their third option. 14.4 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists. And he's kind of been streaky in Dallas. At times, he seems like a prime Michael Jordan. Other times, he seems like Tim Hardaway Jr., I guess you could say. 40% from the field, 39% from 3. Took mostly threes. That's why his field goal percentage is so low, over 30 minutes last year. But again, this is a guy that I think if he does the right stuff, I think he could be a really good number 3 option for this Mavs offense. However, like I said, it could turn out not too great as well. Now, looking at who they're going to try and develop, Josh Green and Jaden Hardy. Both of these guys are young 3-and-D wings. Well, not really 3-and-D. Jaden Hardy's just a pure scorer. Josh Green, more of a 3-and-D guy, averaged 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1.7 assists last year for the Dallas Mavericks in what was, I believe, his third year. He's gotten better and better every year, and he's going to be a big piece of the rotation this year. Shot at 54% from the field, 40% from 3, in about 26 minutes a game last year. And then Jaden Hardy, as a rookie, had a really, really good season. 8.8 points per game, 1.9 rebounds, 1.4 assists per game. Former very highly rated recruit that slipped to the second round. Kind of my hopes for Nick Smith Jr. with my Charlotte Hornets. But man, people don't realize how good of a rookie season this was. In 15 minutes to shoot at 45% from the field and 41% from 3. I mean, you don't see that every day. Now, this is what, if I was the coach, I would put the starting lineups as. Obviously I'm not the coach. Jason Kidd probably knows a little bit more about basketball than I do. So Luka and Kyrie is going to be the starting backcourt. I feel like that is cemented in. You can't really argue that. If you do, you're not really going to have a great case to argue it. Josh Green at the starting 3 and Grant Williams at the starting 4. I think some combination of that is the starting small forward and the starting power forward. Really, positionless. But at the 3 and 4, like I said, if I was the coach, I'd start Derek Lively just because he's so good. Such a big paint presence, in my opinion, with his elite shot blocking. But they'll probably end up starting like Dwight Powell or something. I don't know. Looking at the bench, this would obviously be a lot better if they still had Matisse Thybulle, but of course he goes back to the Blazers, so it's going to be Seth Curry. Again, look at the jersey swap, man. Put in so much time to these videos. Jaden Hardy at the backup to Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench at the 3. Like I said, Omax coming off the bench playing the 4, and then Rashawn Holmes at the backup 5. They still have Dwight Powell, who they re-signed. They still have Maxi Kleber, who is going to be a big piece to this team. I don't think I'm forgetting anybody else. Who they signed? Dante Exum could be a good perimeter piece for this team. But off the bench, you got scoring with Curry, with Tim Hardaway Jr., with Jaden Hardy, and you got defense in Rashawn Holmes and Omax Prosper. So I'm excited to see what happens for the Mavs this year. I think this has the potential to be a really good team in the Western Conference. But y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure to like button and hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. And with all that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.